this is a composition that I'm going to do, and many times I like to sit down and do a drawing, line drawing. This is on a gel pen, just in my sketchbook. As I do this, it helps give me information for how I want to approach the painting. What I want to do, obviously, is work from loose to tight. This upper area, I'm really aware in this painting of what's called the geometric motif, and that is the general shapes and the geometry of the painting. And if you look, there's a lot of strong diagonals moving through the composition, and so I want to focus on kind of a triangular geometric motif. And as this is drying a little bit, I'm going to come in with some ultramarine violet, cerulean, into this lower area. And I'm trying to work fairly quick here and just kind of let some of these shapes. I've got my brush, a lot of pigment, very little water. The more pigment and the less water I have, the more it's going to just hold. And so I'm just going to play with this and let this start to build for me. And as this gets further away from the painting, I can just generally kind of let that, see, this is at a really interesting stage right now where it's going to show a little texture, get that going. Now, one thing I've got to be aware of is I don't want this to all look at this point like it was done with a 2-inch brush. So I'm intentionally just, breaking that up a little bit. I want the texture of the rock, but I want this to be a secondary area. So you got to catch that just at the right time. So I'm going to come in with a round brush and lift back to the white paper and then start to put a few of these little tree patterns down below. And I'm going to extend this just a little higher than it actually is, because it would stop right at that diagonal here, and that's not good compositionally. I need to push it up just a little higher so that it overlaps that diagonal line. Taking that round brush, the round brush is important because it's the general shape of this tree that's kind of expanding out. And if I use the flat brush, it wouldn't give me the same kind of a lift. See how I can pull that right back to a light, and that's because this paper has that external sizing, and also because I'm using these mineral pigments, which are more coarsely ground and heavier, and they actually sit more on the paper surface rather than absorb into the fiber. So I'm going to come in here with little green and come in with a little cad yellow medium. Don't be afraid to put that paint down. You can always lift, but it's hard to get it stronger, so get a lot of pigment on there. So I'm starting with this lightest, brightest note, and we're going to then build around it. I'll just leave a bit of that note showing. I'm going to come in with some Viridian, again using the round brush. Viridian is a little cooler green than the emerald that I just used. Again, like I say, I want the brush to say the form. Push that right in here. Now I'm going to come back with a 3/4 inch flat. Come in with that Viridian and go a little darker, maybe with a magenta manganese violet. And I'm going to extend this, coming in a little darker along this edge, so I can feel that the sunlight hitting that tree, and then coming in with a real dark as it moves up and bring that up above that line where this old road is.